Everybody say what's up to Bobo. What's up, Bobo? All right, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. All right, just to let y'all know, I just got done with Book 5, Road to Oz, in the Oz series by L. Frank Baum. I give it a 5 star, and this is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a rundown, and then I'll give a few spoilers after that, and I'll separate the video along with that so y'all know what to do with that. So the intro, I'll just give y'all an overview. It starts off with Dorothy, and she's in Kansas, right? Back in Kansas, and there's there's this Shaggy Man outside, and that's his name, Shaggy Man, and he's pretty much asking her directions. Where's Buttercup, right? Where's the road to Buttercup? So she pretty much gets annoyed with him because he doesn't know or whatever where it is. She tries to give him directions, he doesn't know. So she goes with him, like, all right, here, I'll show you. She gets to this crossroads where there's initially 5 roads, right? And of course, she's like, all right, Toto, where's the right road? Gets Toto to go figure out, and he keeps running back, so he can't even decide. So it turns from 5 into like 17 roads, into like so many roads that they like paths pretty much that they don't know which one to take. Shaggy Man, long story short, he says, all right, let's go this route. They find this little boy named Button Bright, right? So it starts off with them, and of course, along their way, their journey, they meet up with another character, the Rainbow's daughter, who's Polychrome. All 4 of them, they go along this journey of course, just like the books before, they go along this journey of trying to figure out, because Dorothy's like, if we can get to Ozma of Oz, she can save everybody. We'll be good. I can get back home. You can get back home, Button Bright. You can get back home, Shaggy Man, Polychrome. Polychrome, she fell off the rainbow. Of course, she's the rainbow's daughter. The rainbow is her daddy. So all four of them, including Toto, well, with Toto, they go along this journey, dangerous journey and adventure, their own adventure, trying to escape dangers and everything, and pretty much get back home. That's what this one is about. Now, that's the plot. That's the overview. Stop right here if you plan on reading the book. Spoilers. First, I will say that this is one of the most descriptive books out of the 5. Just because how L. Frank Baum writes, there's so many there are different lands, right? There's different lands that they come across, and they come across the Scoodlers, I believe, who are these characters who they're they're kind of like birds, but they're not. And the way they're set up is like, if you see me, I have my face, and this is all you see of me. So they don't have like a butt. They don't have like like say I look the same right here, and then there's a different version of me, but half of me right here. So if they turn, they're one person. If they turn, they're another person, right? So it's a bunch of these creatures, right? They have their own little kingdom, which is in a mountain, which they each have their own little houses on the side in the little dome that they live, but it's only enough for where they live, right? Only what they say, like 6 feet wide, I believe. They're cool, but they're scary, right? And they want to turn everybody into soup. Then you got another dude in this character in the book named Johnny Do It, who is a friend of Shaggy Man from far off or whatever. This man, what does he do? Johnny Do It can do anything. And there was this phrase or whatever that Shaggy Man had, or a little piece of paper that he had, or something that he memorized, that Johnny Do It can come, boom. And then so Johnny Do It, after they, they had to traverse the sands, the deadly sands, right? Because sands, the desert, right? Anybody who touches like with their foot, they die, right? They're deadly sands, right? And this is on the outer skirts of Oz, right? And so from Johnny Do It, he builds them a machine that can sail them across, right? You know, they're finally getting rid of past the Scoodlers or whatever. But I will tell y'all, because I'm not going to tell the entire story, but spoiler heavy right now. I don't, if I'm correct, it may be about the last 6 or 7 chapters is like we're in Oz now. So there's this entire, remember, so along the journey, everybody knows Dorothy comes and figures out that it's Princess Ozma's birthday. I believe on April 9th, 21st. One of them. I don't know why both of those numbers come in. But she is her birthday. So just like in any royal celebration, if you've ever looked at any TV shows or movies with royalty, when it's anybody's birthday, when it's anybody's celebration, whether they have a baby, somebody that got married, but if it's somebody's birthday, it's like everybody from across the kingdom comes here, right? And along the way, you get King Dox or King Renard. He's in Foxville with the foxes. Then you got King Kickabrae, he's king of the donkeys, right? They come and each of them ask, hey man, oh man, y'all on the way to see Ozma? Hey, let me get an invitation. Tell her, give me an invitation, because I know we got a party, right? I didn't get an invitation. And then you got Queen Maryland with her wooden soldiers with wooden guns. You got Barry Bruin or Brewer. He's a big bear. He's just a big rubber bear. Then you got a bunch of kings and queens. You got Queen Glinda the Good Witch, right? And the Good Witch of the North, right? Because Glinda resides in the South with the Quadlings, right? But there's a Good Witch of the North. They don't even say her name, just the Good Witch of the North. You got the Wizard of Oz in this one, of course. He stayed because in the last book, Princess Ozma made him the official Wizard of Oz because everybody loves him so much. Even Dorothy and everybody knows he's a humbug. He can't do shit. But Ozma loves him so much. And of course, if y'all don't know, even in the last book, even though it was already named Oz, it's kind of coincidental and it's a synchronicity within the land of Oz where Oscar Zoroaster and Diggs, I believe, or Riggs, is his last name. He has like so many names, but after Oscar Zoroaster, which is OZ, Oz, his name, his name, all the names and the initials after Zoroaster is Pinhead. Yeah, Diggs. So D being the last one. So Pinhead. So he was like, I'm just Oz. And then so when he came, whatever, that's the last one. I'll let y'all read about that. But pretty much that's the origin of his name. But she invites everybody. And there's so much to remember. There's the land of Oz. And like if y'all have heard my last reviews, y'all also have the land of Ev, right? And within the land of Oz, you got the Quadlings in the south. Up north is Gillikins, the west Munchkins, and the east the Winkies. Or they interchange with them with the directions, but yeah, they're in there. And so that's just Oz. And the Emerald City is within the land of Oz. But everybody knows that Ozma, which she's the true heir and she's the true princess of Oz, right? She's the ruler. Everybody's like, she's the most beautiful little girl. She's wonderful. She's a great ruler. We wouldn't have it any other way. But it's still like there's lands beyond Oz, right? In the fairylands, and this is the first one. Everyone, even in the last one, you got an invisible Valley of Voe, right? You got into the Vegetable Kingdom with those weird people. If y'all ain't listen to the last review, story time, I'll tell you all about them. These people's horrible, but they're very weird. But they're in their Vegetable Kingdom, which is a glass kingdom. Even when you saw in those realms, when you get the invitations, like the invitation to Ozma, and like I said, within the like I don't know, remember the number I said, but those majority of those chapters, like after 18 through like 24, I believe, was specifically like, all right, we done made it to Oz. So this whole time it's like Shaggy getting new clothes, everybody welcoming in because they get there 2 days before Ozma's birthday celebration. So all of this is a lead up to everybody being welcomed into the kingdom. Oh, Belina, she got 10 little ducks of her own, 10 little chicks of her own, and guess what their name is? Dorothy. It's just such a lovely story. But yeah, so everybody gets invited. You get this gumdrop king, John Doe, I believe his name was. And what's his name? Button Bright. I think Button Bright noticed or Dorothy noticed that his somebody bit off a little bit of his candy cane because they couldn't help the temptation. Because when he came up and he saw they was human, right? Or, a little boy, little girl, he was scared. He was like, I hope y'all don't have a taste for, oh, gingerbread man, my bad. He's a gingerbread man. But he was like, I hope y'all don't have a taste for gingerbread. And they was like, of course, we don't eat friends here. We in Oz, we don't do that, right? So this is just such a lovely story. I give it 5 because not just because of the end. That right there hit me because you were just reading like you saw the royal palace of Oz. You got a little bit more into like Oz outside of the kingdom, or the Emerald City rather, the palace, more descriptive. I said it in my TikTok, but the way L. Frank Baum writes is he writes as if he's there, and he's like a fly on the wall. Like nobody knows L. Frank Baum is in the story, but he writes as if he's there. Like he writes like one of the chapters, like I said in there, one of the chapters started off, man, I wish y'all could see how wonderful the palace is. Like the procession was. Like he's writing as if he's like a chronicle, like he's in the newspaper, like now I gotta tell y'all about it. So it's all really just a joyful occasion in Oz. And I'm telling y'all, this is only book 5. This is only book 5, Road to Oz. Nobody told me, I'm gonna just tell y'all, nobody told me that there were 13 other books that he wrote before he died. From 1900, when The Wizard of Oz was published, into 1919, when I believe The Good Book of Oz, or no, The Royal Book of Oz was Ruth Plumley Thompson. I believe the last one was maybe with Glenda. Maybe. Let's go check real quick. Yep, Glenda of Oz. The last book is Glenda of Oz. So that right there, all the way from 1 through 14. But once I got on to them, I done told y'all the story, and I done got back into reading. Now these the first ones that I'm reading all the way through. So definitely a 5 out of 5. Definitely these, again, if this is your first video that you're watching, these are not standalone. As I've mentioned in other videos, L. Frank Baum does do a lot of callbacks. So he does describe a few people's stories, origin stories, but a lot of the callbacks, they go back to previous books, previous adventures, but some of the callbacks to the characters, especially if they were in the last book and they're in this book, it does go back to their origin story, especially if we have new characters. Like the Tin Woodman had to explain why, what did he explain? Oh yeah, he explained Jack Pumpkinhead. Who Jack Pumpkinhead? Everybody thought he was dead. Where did he go? Right? Because they come upon his, like I said, this is the spoiler section if you get out, right? Sorry if you done heard, but Jack Pumpkinhead, this man comes back. But he doesn't come back. Because Ozma saw them the whole time, right? But to give another few spoilers, once they come, of course, up to this pumpkin patch, they see this pumpkin patch and they see here lays the body of Jack Pumpkinhead, and they see three of them, and then Dorothy's like, oh my god, oh my god, she's so distraught. And then they walk into this house, and there he is sitting. Turns out that Ozma, of course, because Jack Pumpkinhead chose to stay, right, just like the sawhorse, she carves him a new head, every time. Has his head carved because he has the magic powder, so he's never gonna die. It's just that pumpkins rot. So that's his head. So, had to wait for the harvest, and then boom, got him a new head. So this is cool. This is great. Lovely story. 5 out of 5. The 5th book in the series. We got what, 9 more? Technically 10 more, because I'll still read Ruth Plumley Thompson's The Royal Book of Oz, just because it's still in, like what I've told y'all. This is what it is. This is what it is. I'll tell you. Let me close this right there. Let me get that on focus, right there. There we go. There we go. Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, The Road to Oz, and today, if not today, I'll try tonight or into tomorrow, The Emerald City of Oz. I have a feeling that is going to be a great one. It's something telling me that one is only going to get better. And trust me when I tell you, this man, at the beginning of every book, he writes that he first published this in 1900, the first book. And these are children's books, of course. And he gets, after every book, he gets thousands upon thousands of letters within the years in between of little girls. What happened to so-and-so? What happened to the Scarecrow? What happened to the Cowardly Lion? So he's combining, plus he has this new vision of where the next story is going to go. So a lot of these are combinations of what little girls back then requested, and him trying to put it all into one story, plus his own idea of it. So I don't know if that doesn't make y'all want to read this, because this is children's, of course, but they consider juvenile fiction, children's fantasy. But after reading The Road to Oz, after reading it, every time, like what I said, the last few chapters is when they was in Oz. Right here, based off of these 5 books that I've read, it's like we ain't even touched the surface. 5 books in, there's 14 of them. There's 14 of them. 14 with him. So, as far as I'm concerned, y'all gonna have to, stay tuned. We're gonna keep trucking through these. I'm gonna keep giving y'all a rundown. Let me know in the comments if y'all like the story time, because I did give a story time in the last. I gave y'all the entire story, right? That just took a world of its own. Y'all see, it was at nighttime. I was just ducked in, bruh. Me and Bobo was in there, bruh. So if y'all like that format, if y'all may not want to read the books and y'all will let me tell the story, y'all can do that, or give y'all a spoiler heavy part, then let me know if y'all like that. If not, we'll keep it like right here. But yeah, until the next time.